గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ స్టూడెంట్స్. TGPSC గ్రూప్ 1 ఎస్ఏ దీనిలో ఫస్ట్ టాపిక్ మనకి కాంటెంపరీ సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ అండ్ సోషల్ ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉంది. దాంట్లో ఒక శాంపుల్ ఎస్ఏ తీసుకొని డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. దీంట్లో డిస్కస్ హౌ అడ్రసింగ్ జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ అండ్ ఎన్ష్యూరింగ్ ఉమెన్ సెక్యూరిటీ కెన్ యాక్సలరేట్ ఉమెన్స్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. దిస్ ఇస్ అ శాంపుల్ టాపిక్. బట్ మనకి కాంటెంపరీ సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ అండ్ సోషల్ ఛాలెంజెస్లో ఇండియన్ సొసైటీ దానిలో మనకి థర్డ్ యూనిట్లో కొన్ని సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ మెన్షన్ చేసింది. ఆ సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ చూసుకోండి, దానిలో నుంచి ఏదైనా రావచ్చు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దానిలో వైలెన్స్ అగైనెస్ట్ ఉమెన్ ఉంది, క్యాస్ట్ వైలెన్స్ ఉంది, అర్బనైజేషన్ ఉంది. సో ఇట్లా మనకి ఒక 17 టాపిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఈ సిలబస్లో. సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ అనే సిలబస్లో 18 ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి. అలానే తెలంగాణ సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జోగిని కానీ, చైల్డ్ మ్యారేజ్ కానీ, చైల్డ్ లేబర్ కానీ, ఇలా తెలంగాణ సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్ కూడా మెన్షన్ చేశారు సిలబస్లో. ఈ మొత్తం టాపిక్స్ ఇవి ఒక 7 టాపిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఇవి ఒక 17, మొత్తం ఒక 24 టాపిక్స్ యూ హ్యావ్. సో ఈ 24 టాపిక్స్ నుంచి మనకి క్వశ్చన్ ఎక్కడి నుంచైనా రావడానికి ప్రాబిలిటీ ఉంది. క్వశ్చన్ చూడండి, డిస్కస్ హౌ addressing gender pay gap and ensuring women's security can accelerate women's empowerment in India. సో దీనిలో ఫస్ట్ మనకి అడుగుతున్నది ఏంటి అంటే జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ అండ్ ఉమెన్స్ సెక్యూరిటీ, ఈ రెండు ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ని మనం అడ్రస్ చేస్తే ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ ఎలా తీసుకురావచ్చు అనేది క్వశ్చన్. సో బేసికల్గా ఈ ఎస్ఏలో మీరు యూ డివైడ్ దిస్ ఎస్ఏ ఇంటూ ఇంట్రొడక్షన్, బాడీ అండ్ కంక్లూషన్. ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ చూద్దాము, బట్ లెట్స్ లుక్ ఇన్ టు ద బాడీ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎస్సే. ఈ బాడీ ఆస్పెక్ట్లో ఫస్ట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఈస్ జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్, సెకండ్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఈస్ సెక్యూరిటీ issues of the women. So when you address the gender pay gap of women, how it leads to or how it ensures women empowerment. Second aspect is how by addressing security issues of the women you can lead to or you can ensure women empowerment. So first ee essay lo manam you should first clarify what is this gender pay gap, what is this security issue of women, and then how by addressing these two can ensure women empowerment. So let's look at first the introduction of this essay. So this essay is basically about realizing women empowerment by addressing జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ అండ్ సెక్యూరిటీ. సో ఆ కాంటెక్స్లో మనం ఒక కోట్తో స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం ఈ ఎస్సే. అకార్డింగ్ టు యుఎన్ఎస్సి జనరల్ సెక్రటరీ బాన్ కి మూన్, అచీవింగ్ జెండర్ ఈక్వాలిటీ రిక్వైర్స్ ఎంగేజ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఉమెన్, మెన్, గర్ల్స్ అండ్ బాయ్స్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎవ్రీవన్స్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ. దట్ ఈస్ everyone has to participate in realizing this gender equality, or finally it is realizing about women empowerment. So addressing two critical issues has the potential to accelerate the empowerment of women, transforming them into significant agents in India. So first మీరు women empowerment అంటే అర్థం చేసుకోండి. women empowerment అంటే it is giving them voice, giving them choice, giving them the power to take decisions. So when you give them the power, when you give them the power to take choices in their life and empower them in regard to making decisions, that is what is women empowerment. They should not be non-participants. They should participate in all the activities, whether it is social, economic, political and other all activities they should participate. That is women empowerment. Giving them the power, giving them the voice, making them participate in economy, making them participate in political issues, political decision makings. When all this happens, this is women empowerment. To achieve this women empowerment, there are many challenges. There are social challenges, there are economic challenges, there are political challenges. Like this, you have a number of challenges for women in realizing their empowerment or in realizing women empowerment. For example, if you take social challenges, the patriarchal mindset is one of the aspects of social challenges. The security issues, that the recent trend or the recent issues, if you see 𝗘𝗍𝗺 rape case, or earlier you see there are big issues in regard to rape case, Delhi gang rape case, etc., etc. These are one aspects of social, but there are other aspects like domestic violence, etc., are also issues in regard to challenges of the aspect of society or social issues. If you take economic challenges in regard to achieving achieving women empowerment, that is, you have gender pay gap. It is a major issue in regard to achieving women empowerment. Not getting equal representation in the jobs is also one major challenge in regard to economic challenge. If you take political challenges, non-participation of women in politics or less percentage of women's representation in the parliament and legislatures. This is to address this political challenge only. We have tried to bring 33% reservation in the parliament by passing recent law. Also, earlier we have tried to ensure the representation of women in local governments by passing the 73rd, 74th Amendment. It aimed at promoting local self-government, wherein in this 73rd, 74th Amendment, we have ensured that 33% reservation is provided to women in these local governments. So, these are some of the challenges in regard to realizing women empowerment. In that context, you have to take two specific issues, that is security as an issue and gender pay gap as an issue in regard to how achieving women empowerment. So, ee aspect lo manam major focus of the question chuddam. Focus of the question is security and gender pay gap. So, first ardham cheskundam asli gender pay gap ante enti. By addressing this gender pay gap, manam women empowerment realization ela possible avutundo chuddam. First, gender pay gap. Gender pay gap ante, see, men and women working in equal positions, providing equal services, working for same time, but getting difference or getting different salary is gender pay gap. And this is a major problem. Men and women work same, but they don't get same. This is an issue of justice. This is an issue of injustice that is happening to women. So, ee context lo question em adugutundi ante, manamu when you address this gender pay gap, then it will lead to women empowerment. As per your World Bank reports prakaram, IMF reports prakaram, ledu ante World Economic Forum reports prakaram, India lo gender pay gap at least 20%, women are getting 20% less than what men are getting. So, ee context lo gender pay gap ni manam, this is gender pay gap, this is understanding gender pay gap. Manam, let's understand the process of addressing this gender pay gap. Ante ee gender pay gap ni manam, how we have legal provisions emunnai, constitutional provisions emunnai, or other policy provisions emunnai to address this gender pay gap ane chuddam. So, ipudu manam constitutional provisions తీసుకుంటే మనకి ఆర్టికల్ 39 లో by DPSP, article 39 లో clearly DPSP says that we have to ensure equal pay per equal work ki equal pay ఇవ్వాలి అని మనకి DPSP లో మెన్షన్ చేసింది. తర్వాత కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ లో కూడా ఈక్వల్ ఆర్ లీగల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ చూస్తే ఈక్వల్ రెమ్యూనరేషన్ యాక్ట్ 1976, Equal Remuneration Act 1976 also provides that there should be equal pay for equal equal pay for equal work. Policy measures తీసుకుంటే మనకి maternity benefit act గానీ వేరే other maternity benefit act and other provisions are also being provided to ensure equal pay for equal work. International provisions చూస్తే మనం ILO conventions kuda, they are also ILO conventions, International Labour Organization conventions kuda, they are asking for promoting equal pay for equal work. And manam Supreme Court judgments చూసుకున్నా కూడా చాలా judgments లో Supreme Court has mentioned that equal pay for equal work అనేది it is part of your fundamental rights. Fundamental right article 14, article 16 make sure that women get equal pay for equal work. So these are some of the manaki legal, constitutional, international policy measures to promote equal pay for equal work. So idi the basic concept of equal pay for equal work. Let's understand then, if we really promote these policies, promote these acts, promote these mechanisms, how it will lead to women empowerment ki ఇది ఎలా లీడ్ అవుతుంది అనేది చూద్దాం. See, when you basically promote equal pay for equal work, what happens is women will get economic independence. By promoting equal pay for equal work, it leads to economic independence of women. So when women get economic independence, they get to choose their life. Then automatically, when you are promoting equal pay for equal work, it is leading to economic independence. This is leading to giving a choice, giving a power to women in taking their decisions. So basically, it is directly leading to women empowerment. So first aspect of the essay is addressing gender pay gap. So addressing gender pay gap ni address చేయడం వల్ల మనం ఎట్లా ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్కి పాసిబుల్ అవుతుంది, ఎట్లా ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ అనేది రియలైజేషన్ అవుతుంది అనేది చూస్తున్నాం. సో ఈ ఆస్పెక్ట్లో మనం ఫస్ట్ అసలు జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ అంటే ఏంటి, దాని బేసిక్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఏంటి, ఆ జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ని రియలైజ్ అవ్వడానికి మనకి కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ మెజర్స్ ఏమున్నాయి, ఇంటర్నేషనల్ మెజర్స్ ఏమున్నాయి, లీగల్ మెజర్స్ ఏమున్నాయి, పాలసీ మెజర్స్ ఏమున్నాయో చూసాము. సో వెన్ యూ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ దెమ్, హౌ ఇట్ లీడ్స్ టు ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ అనేది చూసాము. తర్వాత లెట్స్ సీ ద అదర్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎస్సే, దట్ ఈస్ అడ్రస్సింగ్ సెక్యూరిటీ ఇష్యూస్. ఈ కాంటెక్స్లో మీరు స్లైడ్స్లో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంది, అది కూడా చూడండి. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇస్ ప్రొవైడెడ్ ఇన్ ద స్లైడ్స్. యూ కెన్ గో త్రూ ది స్లైడ్స్ స్లోలీ. బై పాజింగ్ ద వీడియో ఆల్సో యూ కెన్ గెట్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ దట్ ఈస్ ప్రొవైడెడ్. సో ఆల్ దీస్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ అంటే ఏంటి, తర్వాత అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ది జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ ఇన్ ఇండియా, then what are the recent government initiatives. So information is provided here. Let's understand the security aspect now. Women's security, a pillar for empowerment. So మనం చూసాం ఇంతకుముందు ఎంపవర్మెంట్కి డిఫరెంట్ ఛాలెంజెస్ ఏంటి. ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్కి ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పాను, దెర్ ఆర్ సోషల్ ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉన్నాయి, పొలిటికల్ ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎకనామిక్ ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ ఛాలెంజెస్ కూడా ఉంటాయి. సో అట్లా చాలా ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉన్నాయి ఉమెన్కి ఇన్ రిగార్డ్ టు రియలైజింగ్ దర్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్. సో ఈ ఆస్పెక్ట్లో మనం వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్, దట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎకనామిక్ ఛాలెంజెస్ చూసాము. లెట్స్ సీ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది సోషల్ ఛాలెంజెస్. సోషల్ ఛాలెంజెస్లో క్వశ్చన్లో ఏముంది అంటే, అడ్రస్సింగ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇన్ రిగార్డ్ టు ఉమెన్స్ సెక్యూరిటీ కెన్ లీడ్ టు రియలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ దర్ empowerment or realization of their potential. Empowerment is nothing but realization of women's potential. So a potential ni realize cheyadaniki one of the major challenges that women do face both in India and international sphere lo enti ante lack of security. Ee security ante enti ardham cheskundam. They face security issues from the birth itself, female feticide, female infanticide, and if at all they grow up, they start facing sexual challenges at workplace or in transportation or elsewhere. So ee context lo women domestic violence and rapes, attacks, etc. So this is what you need to cover in regard to security issues. What are the security issues that women do face from their birth till the time of their death? These are the basic security issues you need to talk, and how by addressing these security issues will eventually ensure the realization of potential of the woman. So let's see what are the how. See, basically you need to understand ee security issues ni manam eppudaithe address cheyagalugutamo, automatically they will flourish at their schools, colleges, they get into jobs and eventually finally ensuring that they realize their potential. So first ardham cheskondi, security, lack of security. See, most of the times it is the case that parents fear sending their children, that is sending their girl childs to school, to colleges, even to work in cities. There are many cases where parents fear sending their children, girl child, to cities in regard to working, in regard to studies, in regard to higher education, etc. So, ee fear edaithe undo, the fear that they will be attacked, they can be attacked, there will be security issues for the parents, is stopping these parents and these girl childs in realizing their potential. So, in that context, when you are able to address this fear aspect of the parents, not just parents, fear aspect of the girls themselves or the women themselves, when you remove this fear, manki once Gandhi said real freedom is when women can walk freely at mid of the night. So that is the actual aspect. So when can women really or fearlessly walk mid of the night? When they don't have that fear. So how to ensure that realization is the question. So in regard to that, government, both at central government, state government, has passed many laws, passed or brought in many policies to ensure these security issues. For example, Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Bill was passed. There were even recent, after Delhi gang rape, there were different amendments which were made to ensure that security is provided to the girls. In AP also, after the gang rape, there were legal changes that were brought in to ensure this security. Vishaka guidelines, which were earlier given by the Supreme Court in regard to ensuring security of women at workplace. Okay, all these policies have tried to address the security issues of the women. If you see stricter laws like criminal law amendment was made after the Delhi gang rape, or if you see one-stop centers were created by central government, and even the Telangana government has passed certain measures like she teams were created to ensure women's security. Also, there are different programs by the central government which like Mission Shakti, Swadhar, etc. schemes which were brought in to provide this women's security. So, when you address these security issues of women, it will eventually lead to the realization of women potential of the women. Addressing the gender pay gap and ensuring women security accelerates women empowerment. See, some of the points chuddam deenlo. First aspect already discussed chesamu. How by addressing gender pay gap leads to economic independence. Then it will lead to increase the social standing of the women. Also, when you promote equal pay for equal work, it leads to increased labor force participation rate of women in Indian workforce. This will also eventually lead to it will lead to promotion of economic growth. At the same time, it is also realizing or helps in realizing the potential of the women. See, breaking the cycle of poverty, like how by addressing the security and the gender pay gap, you will lift both women and poor people from poverty. So this addressing these issues and ensuring women empowerment not only is helpful for women, but it also helps the nation in regard to addressing the problem of poverty. So Nehru once said, if you want to really awaken the nation, first you need to start with awakening the women. When women is awakened, then the family awakens, the society awakens, then the nation, eventually nation and the world also awakens. So this is about women empowerment enhanced. When you really finally, if at all we address these security issues, gender pay gap issues and other challenges in regard to women empowerment, eventually it also leads to political empowerment of women. So by addressing these issues not only it realizes, or not only it leads to economic empowerment of women, but also eventually it leads to political empowerment of women, that is increased participation of women in politics. Thereby our policies, our laws and our other issues or other programs that governments both at center and state becomes more gender sensitive, addressing or becoming responsive to the women. So when they become gender sensitive, it eventually leads to women empowerment. Examples from India and Telangana, what the Indian government and Telangana government is doing in regard to the empowerment of women. See, you can talk about she teams of Telangana. You can talk about learning from other countries also, like for example Scandinavian countries have very good examples in regard to promoting gender pay gap. For example, if you take this country Iceland, it has made that the companies have to prove that they have to come out and prove that they are promoting this gender pay gap, paying equal pay for equal work. Even New Zealand government has created a model in regard to gender pay gap. So you need to talk about what the central government is doing, what the Telangana government is doing, what are the international examples, whether it is Iceland, whether it is New Zealand, etc., in regard to gender pay gap, addressing gender pay gap and security issues. See, you can start your essay with a quote or a story in regard to women empowerment in general, and then you can end this essay is also with a quote. So I am ending this essay with a quote. To quote Mahatma Gandhi, the true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. So its most vulnerable members, how a society treats its vulnerable members tells us how the society is progressing, or how that society is whether it is progressing or regressive, etc., can be found out by looking at how it is treating its vulnerable sections like women and other vulnerable sections. So you can make that statement: empowering women by addressing the gender pay gap and ensuring their security is not just a matter of justice but a prerequisite for India's socio-economic development. So finally you have to not just talk about, అంటే కంక్లూజన్లో మనం ఇచ్చిన ఎస్ఐ ఏంటి, సెక్యూరిటీ ఇష్యూస్ని, జెండర్ పే గ్యాప్ని అడ్రస్ చేయడం వల్ల మనకి ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ రావడానికి పాసిబుల్ ఉంది అని క్వశ్చన్ ఇచ్చాడు. సో అది అంతా మాట్లాడిన తర్వాత యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రూవ్ ఇట్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు సబ్స్టాన్షియేట్ ద ఇష్యూ బై గివింగ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, బై గివింగ్ ద లాస్. ఈ సబ్స్టాన్షియేషన్లో సోషల్ సబ్స్టాన్షియేషన్, ఎకనామిక్ సబ్స్టాన్షియేషన్, పొలిటికల్ సబ్స్టాన్షియేషన్ ఇవన్నీ చేయండి. చేసిన తర్వాత కంక్లూజన్లో యూ నీడ్ టు టాక్ అబౌట్ ఎ బిగ్గర్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. సి హియర్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ టెల్లింగ్, సి empowering women by addressing the gender pay gap and ensuring their security is not just a matter of justice, but it's a overall matter of socio-economic development. So when you actually do this, when you actually realize this, that providing them security and gender pay gap, it not only is the empowerment of women, it not only empowers women but also eventually leads to development, social and economic development of the nation. So you need to eventually end this essay by talking about the bigger aspect of this issue, and also you need to talk about how by addressing security issues, economic challenges of women, it eventually first it leads to women empowerment, then it leads to social and economic development of the nation, eventually helping the India and the world in realizing sustainable development goals. For example, goal 5, SDG 5 talks about gender equality. It is not only realizing SDG 5, it can also realizing SDG 1 and 2, that is addressing the poverty, addressing the hunger, etc. Everything, most of the SDGs can be realized by addressing the issue of women empowerment in India and the world. So this is one of the sample essay for the social issues in regard to TGPSC Group 1 exam. So you need to understand that there are n number of ways how a question can be asked in this social issues. We'll see in the next session, we'll see one more example of a social issue. So, but for you to understand the overall aspect of social issues for TGPSC Group 1, you need to just go through the 17 topics that were given in the Unit 3 of society paper, and also in 7 topics that are given in Telangana social issues. There are 7 Telangana social issues like Jogini, etc. And there are 17 social topics in the Unit 3. So if you can understand these 24 topics, then eventually you will be able to write good essays for this Group 1. So this is the basic understanding of the issue. So manam next session lo ఇంకొక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకుందాం. సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్, కాంటెంపరీ సోషల్ ఇష్యూస్, సోషల్ ఛాలెంజెస్లో మనం ఇంకొక టాపిక్ తీసుకొని డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఫర్ నౌ వీఆర్ ఎండింగ్ దిస్ సెషన్ విత్ దిస్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.